Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Design Decode. I'm your host, Geeta, a second year sophomore from NIT Rourkela. Today, we have someone really exciting with us to join, a designer whose journey is not only
जॉइन
inspiring
करके छोड़
but
दो
also
ठीक है
extremely
फोन से।
relatable for beginners and students exploring the
अरे भाई
design
आज
field.
लोग बहुत कम है भाई।
Joining us today is Ayaneshu Bhardwaj, a product designer currently working at Zepto with experience across systems, apps, creative projects, and a portfolio that blends both structure and imagination beautifully. We are going to dive into his journey, his creative process, and his advice for aspiring designers. Hello, Baya, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Hi, thank you for this beautiful introduction.
So today we are gonna ask you a few questions regarding design and your design journey.
Yeah,
So shall we start, Bhaiya?
yeah, we can.
या यू कैन स्टार्ट।
Oh, so let's start from the beginning. How did your design journey begin?
Okay, so I started out in college to after the first semester. So in the first semester, I started coding. I wanted to learn to coding. So basically, I am from IIT Roorkee and I have done my engineering in metallurgy. But I never wanted to do it. I never wanted to do engineering though. But I got there. I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I've always been good with music, art, all these sort of things. So after the end of first during the end of first semester, we start preparing for our college festival. We call it Cognizance. It's a tech fest that we host every year. So so I got to know about that, and then I just went up to the office that we have for the space that we reserved for this Cognizance team, and I just showed them some of my illustrations that I made using GIMP. So GIMP is basically a free version of Adobe Illustrator. uh, when they showed it to them, they liked it. They said, "Ki, yes, yes, you can come and uh, work, start working here for the start creating campaigns here." So I was like, "Yeah, I can." And then I went there and started doing graphic design, basically. So for 5 6 months, I did graphic designing, and then. Uh, we have recruitments for our college clubs as well. So like you have design tab NITR, we have design studio IT Rookie. So the recruitments generally happen in the second semester. So but when I was in college, design studio was not that big of a name in the college. It was like a small group where people join it for pastime. It was like that. So I was going to my uh, dorm basically, and then one of my friends said, "Ki if we give the paper and the interview, we'll get this cool badge." Like, okay, I'll go with you. So I went there, and then somehow I cleared the paper. Then there were a couple of rounds of interviews for this club. I cleared that as well, and then I got into design studio. That is where my life changed. Um, so there I got introduced to a lot of seniors who had recently done internships at Microsoft, Razorpay, PhonePay, all these sort of big companies at that point. So the year I'm talking about is 2018, where people were little aware of design. Okay. So at that time I joined design studio at Turkey, and then was working in Cognizance as well. Then in studio, we call it studio, so I'll be saying studio for the rest of the stock. Okay. So uh, uh, in studio, I got introduced to all these bunch of folks. Then
So
with my graphic design work, I got in contact with the senior who was the founder of the studio, basically. So I got in touch with him. I said, "Okay, I wanted to do an intern in product design. I can do this." He said, "Show me your work." Okay. So I gave him some visual design work. And then somehow, by chance, I got a product design opportunity at Wheels. So he was leading design at Wheels. So for I worked there for 2 months as an intern in my winter breaks. So after that, I think during the end of the third semester, I worked there. So from there the design journey started. Then COVID happened, and I was getting bored. Basically, no one had anything to do in COVID. We were not studying; nothing was happening. So I thought I'll utilize my time doing internships. So then I started looking out for internships. Then got an internship from a company called Vernacular.ai, which is now called Skit. So I worked there for 4 months. Then got another internship opportunity just after that, which is called Procall. Procall, I worked there for 9 months. Then I got into Meesho. Meesho, I worked for almost a year, and then I went for my first full time job. So for like around 2.5 years in my college time, I have been interning, and that is how I got and learned more about product designing.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
very great, Bhaiya. And how did your IIT background help you in your career?
Okay, so it's just I think the people that have been around me are always doing something crazy. Someone is building something, someone is trying to launch a startup. They're doing anything, they're failing, but they keep on doing it. So that mindset helped a lot. Basically, just not being scared to fail, trying new things out, and then eventually that got into my habit. So I stopped getting scared now. Tools don't matter. What technology doesn't matter that much. What matters is, can you try it? Can you explore it? Do you have the guts to take a leap forward and just try it out? So that is something that has been there from college. A lot of people being very surrounded by a lot of talented folks basically helped me just keep pushing myself. That's it. So that has helped a lot. I don't think professors helped, but yeah, the peers especially did. The seniors inspired us a lot. Uh, there are a couple of seniors who I look up to, who I am still in touch with. Uh, their work is amazing. Their exposure, their knowledge is amazing. Amazing. So yeah, this is how college has helped me uh,
Wow.
in my current career.
IIT has opened a new door in design. That's really great to know, Bhaiya. And
Yeah.
what were the challenges you faced as a beginner designer? And how did you overcome them?
Uh, so there is a variety of challenge that you face as a beginner. For me, it was initially being scared of tools. So I got comfortable with Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop. I built my first UI in Adobe Illustrator. So I redesigned the LinkedIn homepage in Adobe Illustrator. Everything, like from the icons, everything in Illustrator. So I got very comfortable with that. Then Figma happened like in 2018, 19, I guess. Then one of my friend introduced me to Figma. Well, this is much more easier. You should try this. Still, I was reluctant, and then started trying it out, and then got a hang of it. So first challenge was being getting familiar with tools. Second challenge was what resources to consume. At that point, resources were limited, inspirations were limited. Not limited, but as a person who's trying to get into a new field altogether, who don't know the ABCs of that field, what do I have to consume? What is right? What is wrong? And where do I form a perspective? That was the challenging part, basically. So right now, if I ask you to do rocket science, okay, you ca- you don't know anything about it. You have to learn it. You have to consume some resources, right? To consume that resources, basically, there are a lot of faf resources. There are a lot of information dense resources, right? So what resources do you have to consume? What kind of taste do you want to build? So this was a kind of challenge that I think every designer faced. A lot of designers fail at the point where the taste is not mature. I'm not saying my taste is the best, but I try to consume resources that are rich in quality and visuals also. Like I love visual designs. I still do a lot of icons and everything. So yeah, I try to consume. the right set of information and then block out the rest of the noise. Then the other challenge was getting internships. So that is pretty hard initially. In 2018, I got lucky. 2020, I did my first internship. So in 2020, I got lucky, like through a connection. Basically, the one at Wheel there was through a connection. But it's very hard to get internships when you don't know any. When you have basically a very basic knowledge about what you want to do. In this case, let's say product design. So you don't have a strong portfolio. You are still developing your taste. You're still trying to learn Framer, Figma, all these sort of tools, and then you're trying to get into an industry where you have to design. So you have to actually ship out products. So basically got lucky there, but that is again a bit of a challenge because being from an engineer background, you are judged. Okay, will this person be good or not? Why should I not hire from a design background? Someone from a design background, they'll have much better uh, context or basically knowledge about whatever we are trying to do. So yeah, these are a couple of things that were challenging as a beginner. Anything else? No. Yeah. I think this is pretty much it.
Yes, Bhaiya. What's one misconception students often have about becoming a designer?
Ah, misconception. Can you elaborate on this question a bit more?
I mean, like students thinking design is that this, and but that's not the actual thing which happens in reality.
So biggest misconception in design is, I think people initially what think is ki it's about the tool. If I've learned to use Figma, I am a designer. If I've learned to use Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, I am a designer. That's the biggest misconception. It's tools become irrelevant after a point. You should not be scared of trying out new tools, trying out capabilities. Right now, like I'm learning AI and stuff to build different things. Right, so it's a different tool. Today only I was trying to install something from the terminal, which was first time for me, but following tutorials and etc. etc. And you're trying to do that basically. Yeah, so this is the biggest misconception. It's not about the tool, it's about the thinking, how you execute. And design in general is like you're wearing multiple hats basically. So as a collaborator, as a designer, as an executor, so there are a lot of hats that you wear. So yeah, but at the early stages, you don't realize this. You realize you think ki, uh, if I've learned Figma, I know design, but that is not the case for sure. Yeah.
And since you have a lot of design experience, and we would like to know what helped you to stand out from the crowd, whether it be your portfolio or anything.
Mm, I'll say stay true to yourself. Basically, um, how I generally explain it to people is, ki, let's say you are working on an app or a product, whatever, and you are just passing by, and someone is using that product, and they say, ki, "Arey yaar, what is this? This is not good. This is not right, है ना? It should be like that." Non-designer person, है ना? Uh, so I don't want that reaction anytime in my life. So being a craftsman, all designers, all artisans are craftsmen, right? So being a craftsman, I have to be proud of what I do. I can't leave gaps knowingly in the experience or whatever, anything that I'm building. So it's the finesse, I think, that helped me stand out. So I pay a lot of attention to detail. I pay a lot of attention to detail. Like nothing should be missed. My handoffs should be amazing. Like developers don't have a problem. So when you are designing for a couple of people, not only the user, but when you are giving the handoff, you are designing for the developers. That the design of the handoff that you give to the dev is is also an experience that you are trying to create. So basically just breaking things down and then staying true to whatever you are doing, basically, and be proud of it. Okay, so if you're not being proud of what you do, then you will leave gaps, you'll do it half-heartedly. But that's never the case. Anything and everything that goes out of your hands have a branding to it. Ki, okay, this is made by Ayaneshu, this is made by Geeta. Okay, and when someone points it out and say, who made this shitty design, yeah, who made this amazing design, okay, then I want to or might not want to hear my name. I want to hear it for the great, obviously. But yeah, that is what I want to be remembered for doing great work, like anywhere I go. So that helps me stand out. It's the attention to detail, wala part, I guess. Yeah.
That's really helpful for us, Bhaiya. And how would you describe your design process then, which is in the beginning, and now?
Mm, it has evolved over time. Earlier, it was mostly solution first. Like, okay, someone told me a problem. Okay, isko ye solve karte hain, है ना? This is how we'll solve it. Right now, what I try to do is understand the problem more. Uh, I know it's a typical answer, everyone gives the same answer, but once you hear the problem, the human mind goes to solving it. That's what happens in the initial phases, but you have to take a step back and understand um why the problem is still there, why is it existing, what is causing it. You have to ask some questions around the problem to know more. Once you have that data, then you can do your own research while solving the problem. So that's generally it. Like mota process looks like this only. uh, Someone tells me a problem, okay, I try to understand why it is, what do you want, what are we trying to do, how will the business be impacted, how will the user be impacted. All these questions are ironed out in the initial phases. Then starts the research, little bit of research. The easiest way of researching is look for competitors, what they are doing, basically, and then taking inspiration from them, and then trying to figure out new things or better things that you can do, and then go into solving. Yeah, so that is how the design process looks like. The overall process is a bit larger, so it'll take me some more time to explain that, but I think I'll skip for now. Yeah.
And there are designers, they always talk about balancing creativity with constraints. How do you manage that?
The answer is very simple. What is most required at that time, basically. So if I have to deliver something within 1 hour or within 5 hours, okay. So time is a constraint. Quality can't be compromised. So you can't go creative, just go into the rabbit hole of exploring iterations. There you have to be very crisp about what you want to do, what you want to execute, and that is where the balancing part comes in. So uh, if the so you everyone here who aspires to be a product designer will be working in a studio sort of a setup or a corporate sort of a setup. Okay, corporate companies like tech companies like Zepto, Blinkit, etc. Okay, and studios, there are design studios as well, so they work in a little different way. The companies that work, the company's corporate setup mein, there's a specific way of working. Okay, the major constraint is time, development development time, design time, and release time. ये सब constraints होते हैं. So there you have to balance out कि okay, what does the situation demands. Does it demand me to go explore, take my hands free, build some amazing interactions, all those sort of things. If the time allows you, you do that. If it doesn't allow you, you stick to the basics, follow the basics, and then ship out something. So yeah, I think that depends on what the situation requires.
Yes.
That is how you balance your creativity and constraints.
Is there a particular project from your portfolio that you are proud of? And what was the biggest challenge in that project? And how did you learn from it?
Okay. Uh, there have been a couple of projects over time. Some are in my portfolio, some are live. So something that I'm very proud of is Pixel. I think the AI project that I made. Uh, the challenges uh, in this were learning to prompt, basically. How do you prompt in a particular way to get the desired output? Basically, I built this whole Pixel platform from designing to final output in 6 hours. That is 5 hours of waiting, 1 hour of prompting mostly, and 30-40 minutes of designing the interface. So it's a 6 hour effort, but learning what to prompt, what kind of prompts do you give to Figma make, uh, what design is possible in Figma make, like what capabilities does it have. So I built it the week after Figma make launched. So the models were older at that point. So I was using Sonnet 3.5, which is not very smart. It used to rewrite the code again. If I asked for a couple small change, it used to rewrite the code again. So I have to be very precise with my prompting. So that is the challenge, and this is the project that I'm proud of. At Zepto, recently we have launched a whole new experience where there is no delivery fee, no handling fee, all these sort of things. So I have been a part of that and introducing some uh, and removing all those dark patterns and everything. So I've been a part of that team as and yeah, that is also something I'm proud of. So basically the numbers have gone up significantly, the order counts have increased, a lot of good things have happened because of that. So yeah, I'm very proud of that. And in this corporate setup, the biggest challenge you face is collaboration challenge, and mostly time constraints. So I built something, I wanted a particular thing in a particular way, okay, and but the developer said it will take 2 weeks, but we have to ship it within 3 days. Okay, so I can't ask them to just push the timeline because business has to meet some goals and all the other teams have to meet some goals. So there we take trade-offs. We find a way to ship that particular thing in 3 days. How it be shipped, and then later on improve it, like take the whole 2 weeks and then build the actual capability later on. So yeah, these are the two projects, I guess.
Yes, great, Bhaiya. And if you're the only designer in a startup, how do you discover problems worth solving and how do you validate them before designing anything?
Okay, so I have been in that situation 2-3 times in my life. So basically, you have to become a user of that product. Okay, you have to spend a lot of time using that product day in day out. Then you learn about some design challenges that are there, some product challenges, some experience challenges that are there. Okay, so then you have to keep using it to find out the problem. So like let's say if I am here at Zepto and I am the first designer, uh, I have to keep ordering on Zepto, keep learning about how can the experience be improved, looking at the competitors, what they are solving, what they are trying to solve. And in a startup, if you are a solo designer, you're not the only one trying to solve a problem. The problem exists in multiple forms. Say there are a couple of design problems, engineering problems, business problems, product problems. So you can influence all of them in a small company, basically. So not everything requires design. Some things can just be a sort of argument and get done with it. That sort of a problem can also be there. So you have to be involved a lot. Like you have to give significant amount of time to that particular product and problem when you are trying to solve it. Yeah, problem can also be a people's problem. So that depends. Basically, the answer is it depends what kind of problem it is. Um, and if you are uh, very deep into that problem space, you can have an influence there. Basically, you need people to trust you. That's it. If people trust you, they'll trust you for solving XYZ problems and they can approach you. Yeah.
Yes, Bhaiya. So, what's the one thing about design industry that surprised you when you entered it?
Uh, It's not all fairy tale designing, like just designing and get done with it, and designing beautiful interactions and all those things. Like it's just not the craft wala part. Craft is a part of the job, which I think is 50-60% part of the job. Then the thing that surprised me is you have to deal with a lot of people, you have to talk to a lot of people, learn a lot of things as a designer. So collaboration is a big part. You have to talk it out. You have to word out your thoughts, articulate your decisions to product managers, developers, founders, etc. Like all these sort of people to convince them that, okay, this is what I'm trying to do and this is the kind of impact that it will have on the whole solution. So that is articulation. Then learning about constraints. So uh, you can make anything you want, right? But it can't. It should be shippable. So eventually, with time, you realize कि okay, it can't be, it is not possible because the tech is built in a certain way. There are other projects in the pipeline. Your project is sometimes not the most important, but uh, that is also one thing that surprised me. Uh, so yeah, these are a couple of things. It's not just design; it's a lot more. It's a lot of talking to people, lots of convincing people, lots of understanding what the constraints are, and then being able to ship out good stuff, not mediocre stuff, good stuff. So with all these constraints. So yeah, this is it.
Definitely, Bhaiya. Design is not just about designing and it's beyond that. And what's the biggest difference how beginners think about how design works versus how it actually works in companies?
Okay. I think I answered that in the previous question only. So designers generally, beginners think, okay, I'll create something, it will be shipped. But in general, it doesn't happen. First, the problem comes to you, or you discover the problem, then find out why it exists, and then if there is a product manager, he'll be responsible for a bigger problem set. So designing is one part of it. Then launching to which set of users, and there are other things that are not part of the design process, so that is also you have to be involved with taking decisions there. Then you go on to Figma, explore. Then after some iterations you show it to your product manager and other stakeholders. Then you have to align them again. Ki, okay, this is what you're trying to do. Then you have to finish all the streets and everything, design the whole flows, all the edge cases, everything there, then hand it off to a developer. Then you have to explain the developer, okay, this is how I want to build this. Then the developer develops it. After they develop it, there will be some things here and there. The padding is not right. The font size is small or big. Some things can be there. Okay. Then you have to sit with them and make it right. We call it DQA, design QA. um, then you have to make it right, and then then they ship. So it's a lot of being dependent on other people as well while you are shipping products. Beginner Junior designers, when I was a junior designer, I used to think, okay, I'll design it and it will be done. But it's not that easy. There's a lot of time and resource involved in shipping a good product or a feature. Yeah.
Thank you for the question. Okay. What would you tell students who feel stuck in the wrong degree but have the spark for design? How can they start their design journey?
Mm, start by start by getting into, I think, if you can get into a design group, that is well and good, if it exists in your community, in your college or something. If you are in there is nothing wrong or right degree. Okay, basically, you chose something, or you were made to choose something, and then you are here. But the world is always open to do new things. So basically, you just need to get in the right set of people. Let's say you want to do product design. So in this, like you asked your question, so for product design, get in touch with some good people. You can seek some mentorship, join a course maybe, but what I have learned is it is best to just get into touch of people who are already doing it. Just ask them what to do. Basically, there's a common resource that I generally suggest to everyone: start.uxdesign.cc. So this is a resource that helps you clear out the basics first easily. Okay, and then once you are done with the basics, learn a tool. So the easiest way to get into design is this: learn a tool, learn to consume good inspiration. Okay, you can go on any platform, dribble, layers, etc., etc. I use Twitter, so my Twitter feed is mostly design, and I go there. I consume all the knowledge from Twitter, and I follow some good people who create really good stuff, which I generally save. So whenever I'm designing, I take reference from that. Okay, then try replicating initially. So my initial designs were shit. Everyone's initial designs are shit. You don't need to be scared of them. Just embrace them. कि, okay, it'll get better over time, and just keep practicing. Stay up with the trends. So if you're doing product design, stay up with the updates of what Figma is doing, what Framer is doing, and what other companies are doing. So in general, there's a big realm of designing: motion design, graphic design, visual design, brand design, packaging design, product design. So for product design, now it's not just designing; it's a lot more. It's very harder. It's more harder to get into the industry at this point right now, from when I got into the industry 5 6 years ago, because now there's a builder sort of a mindset where designers can also ship out actual products. So Pixel, what you saw is purely built with vibe coding. I'm trying to build an app now. I'm trying to build a plugin now. I'm trying to do XYZ things, or everything with code. So design, everything is part of design now. So you have to stay up with these trends. You have to stay up with the AI trends as well. What image generation models are there? What kind of models generate what kind of images? So you have to have knowledge of all these things also. So yeah, staying up to date, having a good place where you can take inspiration from, getting in touch with people through internet or whoever is nearby you, and then putting in the hours of learning XYZ tools that will help you design, and then consuming good resources. Basically, you need to read the basics. You need to read and apply the basics. You need to analyze what other people are doing. Take look look at the apps that you are using and try to figure out, okay, why is it here and not here, and then reason out with other people. So let's say you and me and Geeta are trying to learn design, and we both are very interested. Okay, we'll pick an app and we'll just counter question. Okay, why is this here? Why is this not here? And that helps you build reasoning logic. You can both go in different directions. You can both go in different directions, but it'll help you build design reasoning basically. And now, because with chat gpt is also there, so you can put that design screenshot and ask into chat gpt, okay, why is this happening, why is this button here, why is it not here? So yeah, that is also one way. Chat gpt can be a really really good teacher if you want to learn for any
Yes.
these AI chatting platforms.
Yes, but how different is designing for a fast-paced product company compared to more structured or early stage teams?
I didn't get it. You asked three type of atmospheres.
No, actually, like how is designing different from a company who needs the products in instant, and how is it designing different for a company who is well structured?
Okay, okay. So big MNCs and startups basically. So the difference is bureaucracy basically. It's simply if I put it. So in smaller companies, you don't have to align a lot of people, so you can design fast and ship fast. You don't need to take a lot of approvals. You can there is In general, small companies don't have a design system, so you can basically explore other languages, do XYZ things, and then ship it out. You can test it in real time. One of the companies that I worked in used to test in production. So what this phrase means is you build out feature and you test it and test it with the users directly. You roll it out for 5-10 users and then just let them use it, see their experience, call them directly on the phone. Okay, why is it working for you or is it not working for you? What do you think about it? XYZ questions. But in bigger companies, a lot of thought goes into it. So uh, so there are three type of companies. One is like a very small stage startup, early stage startup, where there are 5-10 people. You don't need to align a lot of people there. Then there is pre-IPO sort of company at which Zepto is in right now. So there are 30-40 people in the design team, 100-200 people in the product team, and then a lot of engineers. Then there are big companies like Atlassian, Microsoft, Uber, where there's a lot of bureaucracy involved. So you don't get to, in bigger companies, like the big MNCs, you don't get to know a lot of things that are going on in the company. Okay, you are very limited. Your context is very limited. Uh, you only know about the product that you are trying to solve for, because each company has like 50-20 products, 50-60 products. Internal tooling, a lot of internal tooling is there, and consumer facing tools are there. So you don't know a lot about them. So you interact with a limited bunch of people. You don't know everyone in the company. You don't have a lot of stake. You are uh, mm, you're stuck in a space where you have to obey a lot of rules for designing. Like bigger orgs generally have a design system in place. They have development techniques that are already that they have defined for themselves. So you have to design according to those constraints as well. The time to design, time to explore increases. So let's say a feature is being shipped in a startup in 2 days. There it will take 2 months, 2 months or 1 month, because a lot of testing goes into it. After designing, a lot of testing goes into it. Then you roll it out for 1%, 2% type of users, and then you, if it works, then you roll it out, then you scale the feature. Otherwise the feature get descaled. So that happens. And in a company like which Zepto is in right now, Zepto sort of space, here the work is pretty fast paced, but there's a little bureaucracy involved. You have to align the stakeholders. You have to do all the testing and everything, because it's a consumer facing app. So I work in the consumer team, uh, consumer design team of Zepto. So you still have to test it out. You have to roll out features very thoughtfully. Everything is thought through here. In early stage startup, it is not like that generally. So you try to roll out as fast as possible and then test it out, then remove some features, add some features, all those sort of things happen.
And since you have mentioned earlier about using AI in your workflow, how do you use AI in your design flow?
A lot of brainstorming now I do with AI. A lot of chatting and everything, um, like chatting about the problem, or sometimes the solution I do in AI. I do a lot of my prototyping in Figma Make now, to just to show the developers, okay, this is how I want the interaction to be. So there I use Figma Make for that. For generating images, generating videos, now I'm more inclined towards AI. Um, because it's just one prompt. You don't need to go to Google, find an image, and see what's the best image and then put it into your design. So the mocks that we present to the stakeholders should have other different images. So we have built a plugin for that as well, which have our own SKUs there. But a lot of times we just generate images from AI. A lot of video generation is also happening. So I'm trying to learn about that as well right now. And coming back to the question, I there are generally three places where I use AI. First is brainstorming, uh, which I do with mostly ChatGPT or Gemini. Then uh, there is prototyping, for that which I use Figma Make. That is the most easiest and most convenient way of prototyping now. Then generating images and text generating copies as well. So all these sort of things are done by AI now. That is in my design process. Other than this, I also use AI for building tools, etc., etc., but not part of designing process.
Yes. I'm using AI to generate images, Vaya. So I will be taking your advice for the future.
Sure,
And
sure.
coming to the next question, what exactly do startups look for in an intern level designer?
Hmm. Yeah, in India, the scenario is a little different than it is from outside. So generally, if you try to intern outside India, they'll just look to nurture you. They'll just look at you in a way, ki, okay, they'll train you to execute XYZ things. But in India, because of the startup culture is there, they are looking for people who can execute, basically. So you need to, so the design teams that are hiring interns, they look to do some sort of task that an intern can do. Basically, you need to execute a lot of things, so you have to be good in execution. You need to learn about how the industry works, how uh, what goes into executing a particular feature. You might not get a full scale feature initially at your internship, but how to execute all these small things, how to pay attention to detail. And wait, I'm not answering it well. Just give me a second. So interns in India generally are hired for executing small tasks. Okay, so you have to be able to uh, execute those tasks, and for that you need to have a you need to be a good craftsman. You need to learn, I think for product design it's Figma at least. And then now, because it's sometimes the task can be you have to generate 50 images for XYZ thing. Okay, so you have to learn about prompting as well now for an intern. So prompt, so how can you prompt the AI to get a certain type of result? Okay, for image generation, video generation, or copy generation, XYZ thing. So that is something that you need, I think, for to get hired as an intern. Good craftsmanship, knowledge about executing, and knowledge about prompting in AI. Yeah.
What advice would you give students who are facing self doubt?
भाई करते रहो, मतलब keep trying, keep doing. There is uh, there's nothing better than just getting your hands dirty and then just trying it out. You have to accept it that you will not be good at it. Hello, am I? Acha. Yeah, you have to accept it that you are not good at it initially and you won't be good at it. You have to accept that, embrace that, and just keep trying. Eventually, you'll get better. The first time you design, it will come out as shit. Okay. But the second time, you know, okay, this thing can be better. Basically, I can do this thing better now. And then eventually, with time, uh, you'll get better, basically. We live in this real sort of generation where everything happens fast. 3 second cuts, 3 second hooks, everything everything is very quick. Okay, but you can't expect product design outputs to be very quick. It's a matter of taste. You have to you have to embrace it, that it will take some time. Give yourself a realistic target and then follow up on it. Okay, you have to be diligent about it. Ki, okay, I will I will achieve XYZ thing by in a month, and then you have to work towards it backwards. Like from that deadline that you've set for yourself. Okay, to reach that deadline, what do I have to do now? Okay, so then you build your path there and then keep doing it. That is how the self doubt goes away. I still doubt myself a lot of times that am I a good designer? So that imposter syndrome will stay with you for the rest of your life. Am I being paid too much? am I am I good enough? Uh, are they give are they really giving me this much money for the kind of shit that I'm doing? I also get these questions to myself, but I just to the best way to avoid is do what you do best and keep doing it. That's it.
Thank you so much, Vaya, for this advice. It's a much needed one, especially for Gen Zs. Okay, and coming to the
Yeah.
next question, how do you see AI shaping design roles in the next few years?
Okay. Okay, so there is a famous saying, AI will replace you, right? But it won't. The person who using AI will. Okay. The person who is using AI will replace you basically. If you don't get familiar with AI, someone can do it better. They'll replace you for sure. So in design, I think it is more like a builder sort of a role than a design sort of a role. So right now, if you browse the internet, browse Twitter and everything, a lot of designers are creating their own apps. Okay, apps, products, websites. So eventually, uh, I think the design role will go towards a design engineer sort of a role. Product design role will go towards an design engineer sort of a role, where designers are also asked to code a little bit, learn about code a little bit. Okay, and then ship thing. So you can prompt your way through coding basically. You can ask AI to write some code for you, and then if it is very good, if the developers also approve it, it can be merged into their code base as well. So right now, how I have been seeing the use of AI in design is, so two of my friends have merged codes in Zepto's code base, but they are designers because they have built some tools uh, that are very good, that are like basically saving a lot of time for us. So those tools uh, are being like now merged with Zepto's tools basically. So this is happening. It's sort of a builder mindset now, where you design and ship things also. So that is how uh, the world is changing for designers. So you'll be required to ship eventually as well in like 3 4 years. But yeah, a lot of people are still doing it now.
Okay. Since you have seen how hiring process at top tech companies works, what differentiates a strong portfolio from an average one?
Okay. So now again, you have to look it from a lens of being a craftsman and designing an experience for the recruiter. Okay, you have to be empathetic towards the recruiter, plus creative as well. A lot of portfolios that you see are in a template. Okay, you can use the framer templates, XYZ templates for creating a portfolio. But for your portfolio to stand out, you have to be creative. You have to do something new, maybe to just get the attention of the recruiter. And then your project should have meat in them, like real substance in them. Okay, there's an actual problem that you solved, actual matrix that you worked on, which improved, or if you wanted to reduce it, it reduced. So yeah, the project has to be really good, but the display part also have to be really really good. So you have to be good with visuals. Basically, you have to have a good visual taste to just attract the attention of the users. I'm saying user because as a recruiter, I'm just seeing your portfolio and judging it in 5 10 seconds. If it is very attractive, I'll spend more time. If it is not attractive, I'll switch to the next one. So you have to stand out by having really good visuals. Your taste can differ, okay, from my taste. That is sometimes okay, but yeah, that has to be there. So for a recruiter, let's say, what are the top 3 things that the recruiter wants to see when they look at your first fold of your portfolio? Okay, so you have to think about that and then answer it and then include those things in your design. Then, because you have to be creative as well as a designer, then what can you do? What technology, or you can use AI, you can use Framer, you can use Figma, etc., etc. But yeah, you can use that and then uh, make it interactive, make it fun for the user to use. And then when they go to your projects, when they see your project, it should be very dense, it should be meaningful, it should not be fast, because no one reads a long case study now. Okay, uh, i I don't know when have I read a design case study last. मेरे को नहीं पता है, ठीक है. But then you have to be empathetic to that recruiter as well, because for every job posting there are 300 400 portfolios now. Okay, so for every 300 portfolio, if I even spend 1 minute on a portfolio, that is 300 minutes, like 6 hours more. कितने घंटे हो गए? Uh, बहुत सारे घंटे हो गए. ठीक है? 12 hours, around 12, 13 hours, whatever. So, but I don't have that much time to spend on someone's portfolio. I'll just take a quick look at it and then just get done with it. So your portfolio should stand out basically by good visuals and then good projects. And for beginners, good projects can be visual design, can be XYZ thing. It can be some products as well. Now, because of AI, you can build your own products. There are a lot of student programs in these big AI companies which give free AI subscription. ChatGPT Go is free, Perplexity is free, Gemini is free for students. A lot of things are now free, so you can build your own tools. If you don't have real projects you have worked on that you have shipped in the industry, now you can, I'll advise you, or you can just try it for yourself, that try building some products. Look at their experience, how can you improve it, document it, put it in your portfolio. That's the best way. No junior designer has ever done it, but I would encourage all the junior designers to do it, because it will help you understand what you can build. So it's not building a portfolio itself is a project, and designing its experience is a project. Okay, so your portfolio can be one project, and you can build separate tools. You can build apps now. So yeah, I think that will help uh, your portfolio standing out. Then you have to do something apart from designing as well. You have to have hobbies. You have to have done something that is not just product design. So a simple product design portfolio is generally boring. People look for recruiters look for people who are multidisciplinary. So apart from product designing, you should be good in visuals or motion or XYZ thing that helps you make a better product designer.
Yes,
Yeah.
fine. So now, what does your day-to-day work life at Zepto?
It's there are a couple of type of days in a life of a Zepto product designer. So I'm a senior designer at Zepto. So I manage multiple pods now. Um, so there are days where I'm just executing. I'm working on my own design. There are days where I collaborate with other people, other designers, and help them out in the problems that they are solving. Um, Sometimes I'm just creating visual. Sometimes the whole day goes in sitting with the developers and figuring out how can we execute this feature, the discussion wala part. Sometimes there's a type of day where I sit with the product manager and we just brainstorm about the problem and just try some ideas on Figma Make or Figma, and just designing the ideas and just looking, okay, how will it look like. So there are collaboration days, there are execution days, there are chatting days, and there are free days also. Sometimes there is little to no work, so you go have fun, chill with people, come back home. Sometimes it happens rarely, but there are these sort of days as well.
What inspires you out of design, and where do your ideas usually come from?
Okay, so I watch a lot of anime basically. So I try to consume a lot of movies. So in my college days, I was in a cinema club as well, basically. So I used to make movies. We call it the group का नाम Cine Society था. ठीक है, तो I used to make movies. I love photography, filmmaking, making videos basically. I love traveling. I love to watch a lot of movies, animes. So consuming different sort of inspirations while traveling, while consuming the art that I'm consuming helps me in this role as well.
Okay, Bhaiya. So now the questions from my side are done right now, and now we are going to take questions which are from audience side, and they have few questions for you, and let me read it out. So traits are companies like Zepto expecting from designers?
You have to be curious, and you have to have a variety in your portfolio. I think from portfolio is something that we judge, and you also have to be a good collaborator. So yeah, these three things.
And moving to the next third question. And there are juniors who thinks there is no money in design. And can you please share your salary jump journey and what you did that time?
Okay, I can't share my salary, but for XYZ reasons I can't do it. But I can tell you it's not. There is a lot of money in designing, and companies invest a lot in design. Entry level designers generally earn 15 to 18 lakhs a year, which is a really good amount of money. Okay, if you can land a good job in good companies, the average salary in India is 15 to 18 lakhs. I think 12 to 16 hai ya to 15 to 18 hai. But this is the initial salary range. So 15 to 18 means you'll get a lakh or so a month.
Yes,
So
Bhaiya.
yeah, there is a good money in designing.
That's hopeful. And the fourth question, uh, Janvi is working as a solo design intern at a startup, and she's trying to figure out how to approach UX research within her tight deadlines. And she is curious about how Zepto companies conduct their UX research and what
Okay.
techniques they follow.
So if you're a solo designer in a startup, best thing you can do is look at competitors what they are doing. There are multiple way of doing researches. One is competitor analysis. So do that. Look at your competitors. Make down notes. Okay, this is what they are doing. Take a lot of screenshots if it's a consumer first app or B2B whatever space doesn't matter. Take a lot of screenshots wherever you can get competitive analysis is the best way to do it. Talk to your users if you can. That is the second thing. Just talk to them. Okay, how have you been using the product? Can you uh, do this X process in front of me? And just look at them how they are using the product. You'll get to know a lot by just looking at the people how they're using the product. So that is, I think, a really good way for designers who are working in earlier startups. Yeah.
Yes, Bhaiya. And the next question is from Siddhi. What do you use for creating images? Also, we put so much effort in our research, but recruiters only spend 40 to 50 seconds on a portfolio. How can we show all of that work in such a short time?
Okay, just can you give me a minute? Okay, I'll answer it. I think someone's calling. Yeah, yeah. Can you repeat the question?
What do you use for creating images? And we put so much effort into our research, but recruiters only spend 40 to 50 seconds on our portfolio. How can we show all that work in a short time?
Uh, 40 to 50 seconds is a lot. No one spent that much time, first of all. Uh, to answer your question, I use Midjourney, Figma ka AI, and a couple of other variety of techniques to generate my images. Primarily, it is Midjourney and Figma. Secondly, I can see the yeah. So research without outcome is not valued a lot. Okay, so you have to process that research into an output. People are generally more interested in the output. They see uh, they see visuals first. Okay, the design recruiters generally. So and they don't read a lot. So you have to be able to understand that you you need to capture your attention. You need to just secure a round, and then you can later on maybe explain your research in that round as well. You don't need it to uh, put you don't need to put everything in your portfolio. You just need to put a summary of everything that you have done. Like, not on, you don't need to include all the process. Okay, मैंने competitive analysis किया, after that I talked to 10 people and this and that. You can just put a summary. um, did some research, you did some research, competitive analysis, user calling, etc. And these are the outputs that I've got, and post your uh, and write about your outcomes of that research. So I think that is it. You don't need to include everything in your research. You don't need to include all of your research into that particular case study.
Yes. And moving to the next question, Rahul asked, can you please share your journey in IIT Roorkee from DS to landing your first job?
Yeah, I think I've told it in the beginning. Mostly, it has been doing continuous internships, and then basically I started working. My first full time job was a college senior startup. It's Newton School. Okay, that is where I worked. So they approached me, and then we had a conversation, and then they liked me. So that is how I got my first job. But doesn't happen the same for everyone. So just keep applying, get to know more people. That's it.
How do you balance academics and ongoing intern?
Okay. Yeah, my answer can be very controversial here, so I can we skip this question? Basically, you have to study. You have to get good grades to whatever reason. If you want to sit in placements for a college, maintain that bare minimum, and if but you have to divide your time if you're doing intern as well. So you need to divide you have to be very strict with your day. You cannot chill. Basically, I've done that, and I know. um, for 6 hours I used to work in my intern, and then next 6 hours college. I have to attend the classes and everything, and then do the homework or whatever is there, acad जो भी पढ़ना होता था. But in our college, we used to generally study 6 days before the exam. So academic pressure was not that much for us. Like I never sat in college placement, so I'm not a good person to answer it. If you are planning to sit in the college placements,
Yes, Bhaiya. And can you share a roadmap on personal branding and upskilling as a beginner designer?
uh, personal branding now. Yeah, be true to yourself. Don't shy away from your personality. Okay, that is one thing. There is no fixed roadmap as such. Bring your personality into visuals, your design, whatever, uh, whatever you are doing. Bring that into it. Stay genuine. Refine your personality wherever you have to.
Sure.
Like I'm very casual in nature, so I try to be very casual at work, casual in terms of conversation at work as well. So people find it easier to collaborate with me. Okay, that is my personal branding in my designs also. If you see, but I'm very well organized in general in my life. है ना? So that reflects in my design as well. If you see my portfolio, it is very, very organized, like the sort of dashboardish, because I wanted to create something which is timeless, basically very structured. But if you open the arts page or creative page, you can see the type of drawings that I do are very messy. The lines are never straight and everything. So there, the creative, personal, casual wala part comes in. Other than that, wherever I like things in a particular way, everything organized. So my portfolio also resembles that. So that is something you can do. Bring your personality, try to word it out, try to understand yourself, and then try to bring it out in terms of visual, layout, colors, etc. in your portfolio, and then with people also.
Yes, Bhaiya. And the next question is, can you share the pixel art you created in Figma and explain how you made it?
Okay. Can you share the pixel art you create? Acha, हाँ, I can. I can pull it up. Wait. So I spent 30 minutes designing the interface. Basically, you can see the interface is very wireframe-ish. So I didn't take a lot of time uh, to design it, but a lot of things are done with prompting only. So uh, yeah, I'll just quickly share my screen again just to show. So basically, the animation that got played on the billboard was an animation that I've created frame using frame by frame. So I've created 70, 80 frames, 68 frames to be precise. Where see, this is a frame by frame animation that I've created. Yeah, it plays on loop. So this is a tool that I created using vibe coding, and using this tool, I created this frame by frame animation. I'll, I'll just reload it and show you how you can do it. You go to the animate mode and try just creating multiple frames. You can. There's a feature called onion skin as well, where it shows the last previous frame as well. So you can take reference from it, draw on it. Uh, okay, and we can play it. See, this is how it works. Then you can adjust the frame rate as well. You can lower the frame rate so the animation will play slower. So now you can basically use this pixel tool. It is free. There's this link, makepixel.site. uh, this is the tool that you can use and then put it, do something with it. So I've pasted the link in the chat as well. You can try it out.
Okay, that's really cool, and I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah.
Okay, and moving to the next question. What's your all-time favorite anime and what's the best
One
thing you like
Piece.
about?
One Piece. I don't need to explain more, I guess. One Piece is my favorite anime. Yeah.
Okay, well. And what are the best platforms to seek internships?
I think LinkedIn helps a lot, but there are a lot of profiles on LinkedIn. You can also explore Twitter as well, uh, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Follow good people on Twitter, and then they post some job openings. And if you reply in the Twitter comments, people generally reply back. The Indian community, design community at least does. So there's a good chance that your portfolio can get seen there. So for me, Twitter has worked wonders. This pixel and all these sort of things happened on Twitter for me. So yeah.
Okay, next question. How to improve UI skills when you don't have any guide or what right or wrong you're doing?
First step is replicate your favorite apps. Basically, try to design as closely as possible in close to possible your favorite apps. Let's say you pick YouTube, you design the homepage of YouTube. Okay, use auto layouts and everything. So understand how development works. At least web basics. You don't need to learn to code, but you need to understand how dev- development actually works. In design, we put something in a frame and it's just hanging there. But development doesn't work. In development, things don't work like that. That particular element is placed inside a div. A div is something sort of a container, and nothing is hanging in the air. Okay, so you need to understand how the layouting in development works in both mobile and web. Okay, whatever you are trying to design for, just learn about that. Use auto layouts. Don't use points. Don't scale using k. Use whole numbers generally. That is a good practice for product design. um, Consume good inspiration, and try to replicate them as much as you can. So let's say you're trying to create a landing page on web, or on a web first landing page, desktop first landing page. If you have seen if you have seen any good inspiration on Twitter, take it, design it, try to implement it on Framer. Okay. Where most of the web designs are now created on Framer. So try to implement it on Framer, and then you'll learn a lot of things. Okay, this is what can be done. This is what not cannot be done. X, Y, Z things. So there's a way of designing. So you'll learn a lot about designing UI from that. So consuming good inspiration, keep practicing, and keep trying out new things. Don't be scared of trying out new things. Stay up to date with whatever the tech patterns are currently there. replicate your app. That's replicate your favorite app in Figma. That is the best thing you can do. So there is an app called Go app. It is a step counting app. Okay, try replicating that exactly everything as it is. It should, if you paste a screenshot of that app over your frame, it should match exactly. So there's a lot of detailing that goes into designing everything in that app specifically. So you can use that or design your favorite app. But yeah,
And the next question, Miss Bai is asking you to review about her portfolio.
yeah. Should I review it in front of everyone? It will take some time. You can contact me on Twitter. I'll give you a review there if that's okay. I think my DMs are open, so any one of you can reach out to me. And you can reach out to me on Twitter. We'll chat there.
Okay, and then Rahul asked you about the bento profile.
Yeah, again, reach out to me on Twitter. Right now, let's not do portfolio reviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and before we wrap up, what's one message you want younger designers to take away from your journey?
And I'm not that big. I'm also still very young in the industry. Something that you can learn is pay attention to detail. That is very important. You have to be proud of yourself and your work, and you can't leave gaps in experiences. I'm specifically speaking for product designers here. Uh, Present yourself very well. You have to learn how to sell yourself. Okay, sell your work basically. If someone is just taking 5 seconds to look at your portfolio, they should be captured by it. They should be able to scroll at it, and you should be able to capture attention. You need to learn those techniques. Okay, that's for the portfolio part. Pay attention to detail. Yeah, again, I think, yeah, and put in the hard work. I think there is no shortcut to it. I know everything looks very flashy in reels and everything, but all those people also put a lot of hours, they build a lot of systems to reach there where they are. And yeah, you also have to do the same. There is no shortcut to success, basically. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Priya, for sharing your journey and insights. And to everyone listening, if you are an aspiring designer, I hope this conversation helped you and you got the clarity and the motivation to do. And thank you so much, Priya.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for having me. I think I hope it has helped you in any way. So uh, yeah. Thank you.
Over to you, Somnath Bhaiya.
Hello, Vaya.
Hey.
Thank you, Vaya, for taking our time in the weekend. We'll connect once again, okay? So for now, I'm
Sure. Sure.
wrapping up the meet. Okay?
Sure. Sure. Nice.
Okay, Vaya.
Nice for you to have me. Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening,
Thank you,
people.
Vaya.
Yeah. Bye bye. Have a good
Bye,
day.
everyone.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye.